This is Margaret Ann Windsor, and I keep saying that because that's who I am, and I was kidnapped. And this, on the last tape, I forgot to put this on. I have on some previous tapes, but this is my father, and I know that he's a very decent, honorable man, and that's the reason they took him out, King Edward VIII, who was married to my mom, Claudia Ruth O'Keefe Windsor. He never was married, nothing to do with this American spy, Wallace Simpson, who married an imposter. That wasn't my father, so that shows you the depth of what was going on, and the Americans did it. Don't blame anybody else. The Freemasons, yeah, the Rockefellers, Rothschilds, but the Americans did it, and some of my family. So this was a line a 99-year seal put on my kidnapping in 41 from Buckingham Palace. Now then, they talk about the Kennedy killing, and mind control was used in that to program. And yes, it really tells everybody who did it, but nobody wants to go up against an agency, do they? They're cowards. Now then, I hope I live long enough to see the truth told and my father's name cleared, and the right people stand accused and before a court for the crimes they committed. And that's this country, that's the Jews. And by the way, the Jews now, after my kidnapping, the Rockefellers and Rothschilds that control the media, um, the Rothschilds married into Elizabeth's mother's family. I don't know how far back it goes or how it's pretty close. But here's the picture of my uncle, the sorry sot. Can I say that? They have done it. You have to walk in my shoes and suffer in plain sight and watch the reaction and the fact that it's gone on for 75 years and I'm not allowed to say it, but they've gotten away with doing this to me in my country. No, I don't like it, and I wish they say, God bless America. I wish he'd bless it the right way. Let them get away with all this killing and murdering, and they've lived, and I'll bleep myself, good, while the Brits and Germans paid for it, and some Americans. There's some decent ones there, but what I've seen in 75 years, you can count on your finger. Now, if you don't like what I say, you don't like the truth. Here's my Uncle George, the sorry guy. In 1939 with Roosevelt, the year I was born. And I'll say it again, the Kennedys, Joe was ambassador, his sons, he was appointed and close friend, he was appointed by President Roosevelt. So you Americans and everybody puts two and two together when they want to. So there was, when I was kidnapped, my father illegally taken down. George, I'll say it again, and then Elizabeth signed illegal treaties. So the Americans have gotten away with, under the pretext that they went in to save the free world. They went in to enhance their lifestyle and hold hostages, and that's who Germany, that's who Great Britain, that's who at least part Sweden, Denmark, Norway, and my aunt that was queen. Well, let's see. She's a cousin, I suppose. Holland. You know, some of my family, Elizabeth and maybe her, and I honestly do not know why I have a block when I'm saying Holland. I need to have that written down. That's the one thing that will not come to my mind is the name of the country. It's not just Holland where the war crimes are held, and certainly she and Elizabeth aren't going to prosecute themselves or the Rockefellers. And so I'll get back. You know who I'm talking about. but they're held hostage too, and here I've lost it, I suppose. But they're hostages as a nation themselves. Now, the monarchs, they're all the same. They're kin to Elizabeth, the same as they are to me. Only Elizabeth is illegal, but she's sitting there, giving everything away. And look at this. Nobody wants to see me, the shape and what's been done to me, but they can go to William and Kate. And by the way, I started out saying something about the Jews, which, by the way, you're not allowed to say, or man, you get it. I've already had it. They kidnapped me. All you have to do is follow the lineage, too, and then you follow the treaties and the facts that Israel's back there. And I walked in my shoes, and I never knew why the people I met back in Atlanta and Huntsville that were Jewish, I didn't hate anybody. I don't like what they've done to me, but back then I was gung-ho for everybody's rights, freedom of this and that, and everybody should share. Feathers. John Lennon had the right idea like I did, but it was right, but it was wrong. Because, well, I'll leave it at that. People aren't ever going to all get together. They're going to fight no matter what. And I suppose I should delete this tape because you don't get by telling the truth. So anyway, here we've got Kate Middleton. From what I've read, part of her family are Jewish. You've got Clinton, which the other video and videos are saying that Clintons are, well, I know they're part of the New World Order. I don't need somebody to tell me, but Chelsea married Jewish. You've got Kennedy's daughter, Caroline, who is ambassador to Japan. You know, it's the hideous lies and cover-ups. I wonder, Japan used to know who was really responsible for what happened to them. I hope they still do. But Caroline Kennedy's married to a Jewish fella. So you've got the input in there, and you're going to get mad at me because I was kidnapped and my father taken down, and the British died and were made to fight for the Americans so the Americans could live good and give it all away. So I won't be very popular for this one. I'm going to end this with the other thing that I started writing in '77 about mind control, which has nothing to do with mental illness. And it really upsets me that they're connecting the two. They're using mental illness, this country and the New World Order, as a weapon. Because and I'm showing this just as an example, Timothy McVeigh had a chip in him, and he was programmed to go, and he and Brian Nichols blow up the Oklahoma City bombing, the federal building. He is carrying out commands that he can't stop, and people don't want to believe this. It's not a belief. It's true. U.S. Congress, MK Ultra, was supposed to have stopped their well, they're using people for a guinea pig. I wonder what people think I've been used for in my children here, tortured and everything. But they were supposed to have stopped it, their mind control programs, with a slap on the wrist from Congress. Well, heck, I wonder how much of Congress has been placed there at times, you know. It didn't stop, and it's not just MK Ultra. It can be done with a simple ham set, which is electronic. Everybody can go back and if they don't know what a ham set is. So my point in this is it really, if you want to say infuriates, and I almost hate to say that, it upsets me. Because I've told this, and there's been patterns, I've handed it over to the media, to every faxed it. The person, these that I speak of have been done deliberately in patterns. So where does it end? You think if it was deliberately done in patterns, then then it would be told. I'm not too sure because power changes hands, and I don't know if I live to see any of this, the truth told. My name back and who I am, and most of all, what was done to me. Here's the hands of people in plain sight, the Americans that say this is land of the free and home of the brave. Well, it must have been land of the free because they beat the crap out of me all my life. Now then, I'm going to say it again. How would it's like the FBI agent said, it's only when they know how it affects them that they care. How would you like to be your son be programmed? And he goes out and he unknowingly and he can't stop it. He doesn't even know it's going to happen. He's programmed. He couldn't stop it if he knew. Uh, he's under commands to do it, and then a lot of them have killed themselves. That ought to tell you something. Nobody's paying attention to this, so it's the public that's at fault. How would you like for your son or daughter to go out and blow up a building or just kill one person and be blamed for it when they were being programmed? They're innocent, and, you know, they're the most innocent in this. They really are, just like the person that's shot. And people do not want to get this in their heads. And this is the upsetting thing, that they're allowing it to happen. So much of this about back when the planes were going down, you can program a pilot to take it into the ocean or the side of the mountain. But all these things have encouraged security for your safety, when really, in the end, it's not for your safety, it's to control you. Where you go, what you think, and what you do. And you all have bought it. I've told about it since 77, and nobody was telling it then that I know of. I was telling about the Bohemian Club. Now then, these things are being told on YouTube. You can Google it. And where are all the people? What are they doing about it? When Trayvon Martin was shot by Zimmerman down in Florida, the blacks got together. Oh, it wasn't, and they marched. The media picked up on it. Have you ever watched the media, who they tune in on? But you had the president suddenly speaking about it. So where have all you people gone, or what are you doing on this? I've had people call me crazy, as they have other people that speak of mind control. The crazy part is that you allowed it to happen, people. Now then, I lost track of, I was going to say one other thing, and I've forgotten it. The one thing that, if the truth's told, not just about my kidnapping, but the use of mind control, is the fact that the truth is so ugly for the Americans, they can't pretend to be the good guy going in to save the world when they've done the opposite to capture the world. But the other thing is, mind control, it was done in patterns, the one I've spoken of, and it had to be done deliberately, and it was. But if you told, suddenly the flip side of the coin is that people that would say they didn't believe it, and no, that's not true, and they have a relative in prison, or a son or a daughter, or one that's been executed, suddenly they're going to try to file lawsuits. They're going to try to say that their relative is innocent, that mind control. So here's what the law enforcement and the agencies who have gone out and done all this would say. Well, it's going to cause too much chaos. We can't have this happen. You would have mass marches, mass overthrow of the government, so forth and so on. So I guess I'm speaking into the wind, because I'll leave it at that.